Growth, wealth, riches, freedom, speed, elevation starts in the mind. If you don't see it, if you can't imagine it, best believe it will never happen. If you keep saying things like, oh, it can never be me, I can never live in a place like that, or I can never buy that, do you know how expensive it is? Or I can never, you long to travel, you long to go on a vacation, but you keep telling yourself that I can't afford it, I'm not going to be able to go there, I'm not going to be able to do that. If you keep saying things like this, these things will never happen for you, they will never happen to you. So if you don't see it, if you don't envision it, if you don't imagine it, best believe that you will never have it. Welcome to today's special episode. Guess what? Today is my birthday. Yay! Happy birthday to me! So today is my birthday, and I want to come up here and share with you guys some very valuable lessons I learned this year. Some very valuable lessons I learned this year. So everything I'm going to be sharing with you guys today in this video, they are things that I learned this year. They are basically things that I learned about, say, 2 months ago. They are things that changed my mindset. They are things that, sort of put me on the path to creating this YouTube channel. There are things that changed my mind, broadened my mind, and made me the person that I am today. So if you would like to hear things like this, if you would like to hear something like this, if you are looking forward to learn what it is that has made me the person that I am today, I encourage you to sit back and listen. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the very first thing that changed my mindset this year was to pray about any and everything. It doesn't matter how big or how small you feel it is, just pray. Philippians 4 verse 6 says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. So this really, it helped me in a very big way. I really learned to rely on prayer this year because God is faithful. God is faithful, let's be honest. And praying has changed my mind, like not my mind, it has changed my life in a very great way. I can tell you guys that I cannot do without praying. Even before starting this video, whenever I come on here, before starting any video, before starting any book summary, I would always pray. I would always ask the Holy Spirit to speak through me, to give me the right words to teach, the right things to say to get through to people. These are the things that prayer does for me. I never lack words. Whenever I'm here to, give you guys the summary of our chapters, our weekly chapter, I never lack the words because I always pray, because I always ask God to speak through me, to teach through me. So I don't want to do anything on my own. I never want to do anything on my own. I always pray. Prayer makes ways for me. I don't know about you, but it makes ways for me. It makes life very beautiful, amazing for me. So I would encourage you, if you've not been praying, if you've not been talking to God, now is the time to do so. Okay. So number 2 is, if you have kids, pay very attention to your kids. Find out what your kids are very good at or their interests and follow it up. Don't leave anything to chance. Whatever your child is good at, encourage him or her to go for it, or get them interested in something. Catch them young. That very phrase, catch them young. It is very important and it is very true. I remember when I was in secondary school, as at the time we were supposed to write, our WAEC exam, I didn't know what I wanted to be. Sincerely, like everyone, my friends, my very close friends, this one is saying she wants to be a doctor. This one is saying she wants to be a pharmacist. This one, I did not know what I wanted to be. And the funny thing is that despite everything all of my friends said, most of them didn't go ahead to become those things. Some of them, my very close friend, She ended up becoming a radiologist. So it's actually very funny. But the thing is that as at that time, when everyone was prophesying, like they were all saying, "Oh, I want to be this," I didn't know what I wanted to be. I was just looking at them because I didn't know what to do with my life. So it sort of put me on this path where I actually pay very close attention to my kids. I pay attention to them. I pay attention to what they are very good at. Are they good at leadership, storytelling, whatever it is, catch them young. And I'm so glad that I have this mindset where I pay close attention to my kids. I pay close attention to what they are very good at. This way it helps me to know how to channel my energy into helping them becoming those things that they are very good at. It helps me into channeling my energy to pushing them to that thing they have interest in. So that is one of the ways you bond with your kids. That is one of the ways, you sit down with them, you try to talk to them. Oh, what do you like to do? Just normal chat. What do you like to do? Would you like to, oh, I see that you love painting. I see that you love drawing, stuff like that. So when you find these things out, you are able to channel their interest. So number
into
3 on
those
my list
things.
is have a very deep relationship with your children. Let them get comfortable enough to talk to you about anything. There may be a lot going on in their life that they are not able to talk to you about, probably because you are too busy or you are too strict, and your children may not be able to open up to you. I know this because there are so many things I wish I was able to talk to my mom about. Growing up, when I was in primary school, I experienced verbal abuse in the hands of my teacher, and it shaped my life negatively. Or rather, should I say that I let it shape my life because I wasn't able to open up about it. I wasn't able to talk to anyone about it. And I wish that I was able to talk to my mom about it, but I wasn't able to talk to her about it, and it shaped my life in a very negative way. I let people walk all over me. I used to let people walk all over me. I used to let people treat me in a very unkind way. And I was never able to like stand up for myself, speak up for myself. I was always so worried about what people would say, what people would think. I spent more time worrying about what people would think or what people would say, that I didn't see the effects of these things had on me. It was very bad. It was very terrible until God helped me, until I prayed to God about it, until I asked God to help me. And, gradually it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to get out of because for like 3 decades of my life, it dealt with me. I was so focused on people pleasing. It was bad. It was terrible. It was horrible. It was pathetic. Thinking about it now, where I am now versus where I used to be, thinking about it, I was like, how could you have, let people walk all over you to that extent? That was how bad it was. Like, yeah, oh my goodness. So why am I bringing this up? I'm trying to encourage you as a parent, get close to your children. And with this verbal abuse that I went through, it sort of put me on edge. Should I say it put me on edge? I don't know the word to use, but I know that it made me a better parent. So any day my daughter comes back from school, I would always ask her, how was your day? I started very like when she was in kindergarten. So whenever she comes back from school, I'll be like, "Oh, how was your day? How did it go today? Were you a good girl at school? Did your teacher say anything mean to you? Did you say anything mean to someone?" I developed that mindset to always ask her, "How was your day?" And even till now, 7 years, no, not 7 years later, sorry, say 5 years later, I'm still doing it. There are some times where I would subconsciously ask her twice, and when I ask her the second time, she would be like, "Mom, you've already asked me before." So I've made that point to always get involved in her life, to always ask her, "How was your day today?" Okay. So number 4, nothing happens in your comfort zone, obviously. The life you want is on the other side of your discomforts, and you can never reach it until you leave your comfort zone. This, like, I've always known that something, like, nothing ever happens to your comfort zone, but I was never able to do something about it until say 2 months ago. That was when I decided that I was going to leave my comfort zone because obviously nothing was happening there. So for you to get comfortable in life, you have to get uncomfortable. For you to get somewhere in life, you have to develop a great sense of discipline, because without discipline, you cannot do anything. And discipline will put you in a place where you need to be. That is what discipline will do for you. When you wake up and you do the same things over and over, there's this saying that it takes 21 days to form a habit and 90 days, right? It takes 21 days to do something and 90 days to form a habit. I think something like that. So when you do something consistently for 21 days, you find out that gradually it is becoming your lifestyle. And it's not you do it today, tomorrow you don't do it, next tomorrow you do it. Consistently, every day you show up every day. Recently, every day before I go to bed, I journal my gratitude, I plan my day. Because recently I've come to find out that if I don't plan my day, I would have a very chaotic day the next day, because I'll be doing things haphazardly. I'll do this one, I'll do this one, because I don't have a sense of direction. But planning my day has, it has given me this sense of direction, that as I'm waking up in the morning, I know that this is the first thing I'm doing. And then after doing this is the next thing I'm doing. After doing this, like, I have a great sense of direction. And at the end of the day, I feel fulfilled, because I know that at least, if not 100% of the things that I listed that I'm going to do that day, I'm able to achieve, if not anything, 80%. Every day I show up for myself. That is discipline. Every single day you show up for yourself. That is discipline. Create a workout plan and stick to it. That is discipline. Create a weight loss plan and stick to it. That is discipline. Every day, read a chapter of a book, or 10 pages of a book, or watch my YouTube video. It makes it easy for you. That is discipline. Every day, feed your mind with the word of God. Study the word. Watch a YouTube video. That is discipline. You are showing up for yourself, because again, nothing happens in your comfort zone. And until you get out, until you decide to get up and move, nothing will move. Everything will remain the way it is, because you cannot keep doing the same things and expecting the same results. For you to expect a different result, you have to try a different approach. And let's be honest, you may not even succeed the first time you try. You may not succeed the second time. You may be able to succeed. You can't succeed. Maybe okay, fine. You may be able to succeed the first time. You may not be able to succeed the first time. These are games of chances. But just because you failed the first time doesn't mean that you should stop. It should be a ginger for you to go on, to try, because now you can never succeed if you don't fail. Because when you fail, you are able to see, okay, so this is what I did wrong. This is where I'm going to do it right. You know, so nothing happens in your comfort zone. If you want to get comfortable, you have to get uncomfortable first. Number 5 on my list says, don't leave anything in your head. If you have any ideas or goals, write them down, because if you don't, you will definitely forget, obviously. Our brain and mind is always working, and whatever you don't write down, you will definitely forget. So put pen to paper and start writing. I mean, this is self explanatory. You have any business idea, you have any content idea, you have any ideas at all, ideas to make your life better. This is December 2025. The year is coming to an end. Do you have visions for 2026? Have you written them down? Have you started working on your vision board for the next year? What are those ideas in your head? If God gives you an idea, don't treat it like a suggestion. If God gives you an idea on how to make your life better, how to change your life, how to elevate yourself, write it down. Don't leave it in your, don't say that you remember, because believe me, you will not remember. You and I both know that you will not remember. So whatever ideas you have, whatever thoughts you have towards making your life better, towards becoming a better version of yourself, Write it down because you will forget. There is a reason why you have this idea in your head now. There is a reason why you are watching this video now. So if you have any ideas in your head, if you have any thoughts in your head that could make your life better, that could make your job better, that could make your relationship better, your friendship better, whatever it is, whatever ideas you have going on in your head, write it down because believe me, you will forget. Okay, so number 6 says, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result is like bathing a pig and hoping it does not go back to the mud. Sometimes try something different. If your business is struggling, try something different, like going for a business conference or getting a mentor. Someone who is very good at what they do, that is a mentor. If you don't have money to hire a mentor, read a book. Someone said that books are mentors that don't charge you hourly. So even if the thing you are trying to do now, someone else has already done it. If you want to know how to do something, find someone who has already done it. You cannot, maybe you don't know how to drive and you want to learn how to drive, and then you go to someone that doesn't know how to drive. It doesn't make sense. You go to someone that doesn't know how to drive and you're asking them, oh, how can I start a car? How can I put the key in the ignition and start? You get? Or you want to change the tire of your car and then you are going to someone like me. I don't know how to do that. So how will I help you? So if you want to know how to do something, find someone who has already done it. You may not have someone who has already done it in your circle. That is why books are there. Read books. That is why my YouTube channel is here. Watch my YouTube channel. So do something different. Get out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Your business is struggling. Go for a conference. If you've never gone for a business conference before, maybe this is the time for you to start. If you cannot afford to go for a conference, read a book. Someone at some point in their life must have gone through, if not the exact same thing you're going through right now, they must have gone through something similar. I know by reading their books, you are able to get ideas on how to get yourself out of whatever difficulty your business is going through. There is always an answer. Read your Bible. Your Bible is also a book and it doesn't charge you hourly. So you don't necessarily have to get a mentor to mentor you. There are so many books out there that you can read to help you to overcome, to give you ideas, great ideas on how to go about whatever problem or whatever challenge you are going through right now. You want to know how to do something, find someone who has already done it. There is someone who has done something you want to do, someone out there that has already done this thing that you want to do. They may not have done it exactly the way you want to do, but they have an idea on how to start this business, on how to solve this problem, on how to write a book, just whatever. Find someone who has already done it, and you'll be able to figure out how to do this thing. So, number 7 on my list is there is never a perfect time to go after your dreams and goals. There is never a perfect time. I know this. I know that this is one lesson that has actually stood out for me this year. There is never a perfect time to go after your dreams and goals. Never a perfect time. You are waiting to save up a certain amount of money. You are waiting to until you get a very fancy apartment or a very fancy environment to start shooting your video. You are waiting to get a very fancy phone to start making your video content. There is always something, there is always an excuse for why you are not living the life God has meant for you to live, for why you are not fulfilling your potentials. But the truth is that there is never a perfect time. Start now, start where you are. You want to start a food business, start with what you have. Start small. You don't have to have it all to start. You can start with what you have and then go from there. You can, yes, just start with what you have and then go from there. By starting with what you have, you are learning the process. right? You are learning how to do some things. You are figuring out how, okay, when I get a bigger environment, or when I get a better environment, sorry, or when I get a better camera quality, like you, by starting little, you are able to figure out how to do it bigger. Because imagine where you've spent money to buy all the fancy equipments that you need to do these things, and then at the end of the day, you don't know how to work them. You don't know how to work these things. You don't know how they work. You don't know how they operate. So you find out that you've actually spent money unnecessarily. But when you start small, you are building yourself. When you start small, you are taking a chance on yourself. So I encourage you today, whatever ideas you have, whatever it is, start small, start from where you are, grow from where you are. I think that, I don't know, but for me, I feel like there is no greater story than starting small. So that when you've gotten to that height or to that level where you want to be, and then you look back at your humble beginnings, you are able to smile. You are able to thank God. You are able to genuinely thank God. You're able to genuinely thank God for growth, for the power of growth, for how far you have come. You are able to look back and do like something like a throwback. Oh, this was where I started, and this is where I am now. You are able to give someone hope. You are able to make someone understand that there is nothing wrong with starting small. Okay, so number 8, be yourself, be authentic. Don't try to do something someone else is doing. Believe me, I've been there, I've done that. There is nothing, oh, okay, I've not tried everything, but I've tried a lot of things. And the truth is that, like these things I was trying, I wasn't sure. Should I say that I wasn't sure of why I was doing it? All I know is that I needed to do something. This person was doing it. It looks like they are succeeding. It looks easy. So I feel like I should be doing it. Why not? Why not? But I found out that at the end of the day, I'm not able to push this thing. I'm not able to put my all of my energy and all of my strength into it. You know? So be yourself, be authentic. You want to do something that you want to do. Do something that is familiar. Should I say is familiar to you, or something? How do I put this? Or something that is comfortable, something that you're very comfortable with doing, something that when you wake up in the morning, you are looking forward to doing this thing, something that gives you joy, something that you look forward to doing. Do something you want, not because this person is doing it and it looks easy, but because this is what you want to do. This is what you've been called to do. This is a dream God has put in your heart to do. So today, try something new, do something, but make sure you are yourself. Make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you are finding fulfillment in doing it. It is something that you wake up every day and you're looking forward to doing it. Not because you are being pushed, not because you want to be like someone else, not because you want to walk in someone else's shoes. Because you find out that when you put on that shoe, it is very difficult to walk in. It may not even fit. It may be too big or too small for you to walk in, for you to walk on. So be yourself. Number 9, let's talk about people pleasing. Like I said, I used to be there. I used to be that person. People pleasing. You see people pleasing, leave it in 2025. It gets you nowhere. It does nothing for you. I know that it's difficult because it took me years to actually rise above it. So it's not even a journey. It's not even something I take lightly. It's not something I talk about just for the sake of talking. If it's something you've been doing for years, you've been pleasing people, you've been going out of your way to do stuff for people, you will shrink yourself just so another person would rise. You would shut up even when you feel like someone is walking all over you. This thing they are saying is wrong. But because you are too scared of what would they say, you are too scared of what would they think of me. You find out that you're not able to say anything. You're not able to defend yourself. People pleasing, it does nothing for you. I've been there, I've done that. Instead, it diminishes you. It makes you small. It makes you very little. And it makes people walk all over you. It makes people talk to you like trash. I've been there again and I've done that again. So people pleasing gets you nowhere. If you find yourself where you are always trying to please people, you are always trying to shrink yourself just so another person would rise, just so someone else will feel better about themselves, it is time to start praying. I know that prayer was one of the things that got me through. Prayer was one of the things that helped me to overcome people pleasing. God really came through for me. I poured out my heart to Him. I told God that I am tired. I just want to be myself. I want to live my life the way you want me to live my life. Until today, I just couldn't be more grateful because God really came through for me. God really answered my prayer. So I know this is not something that I treat lightly. It's not something that I laugh over because I've been through it and it is very difficult. It's a very shitty place to be. Forgive my language. It is a very wrong place to be. People pleasing. It does nothing to you. It will drain you. It will drain you. It demands a lot. It demands a lot from you. It demands a lot of you. You are saying yes where you are supposed to be saying no. You are biting your tongue where you are supposed to speak or where you are supposed to be bold. It does nothing for you. It does nothing good to you. So today I encourage you to take a step. Leave it in 2025. Promise yourself that come 2026, you are going to drop people pleasing. Okay? Number 10 on my list is never leave your money in the bank. Make investments, but be sure to make your research first. This is something I've always known, but I think over the years I sort of forgot. I got carried away, and whenever I see a certain amount of money in my account, I'm like, "Yay, I'm rich!" I'm like, "You get," but my money is not working for me. I mean, you work to earn your money, and then at some point, your money is supposed to start working for you. So don't leave all your money in the bank. Make investments, make researches. There are so many things that you can put your money on that would work for you, that will give you, at least at the end of every month, you are getting a certain amount. It may not be much. You don't need to start big. You don't need to start investing in millions. You can start small. I remember the very first investment I made in dollars was $10. I know. It was $10 was the very first investment that I made. And then from there, I think the second one was 20. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. It was what I had at that point. So I encourage you to make investments today. There is nothing wrong with starting small. There is nothing wrong with starting where you are. Start investing today. Make researches. There are so many people out there who will teach you how to invest in the stock market. There are so many subscriptions. There are so many people that would, offer a certain amount for subscription where at the end, at every day or every week, I don't know how it's done. I don't remember how it's done. They would release a list of potential stocks for you to buy. So look them up and start investing, start putting your money somewhere so that at the end of the month, you are getting something. Your money is paying you. Okay, so number 11 says, always plan your day the night before. Get a daily planner and make sure that before you go to bed, you plan your next day. It gives you a sense of purpose and direction. I think I've talked about this. For me, every night before I go to bed, I would always plan my day. And I don't plan it in my head. I would always plan it with a paper, daily plan. I have a daily planner where every single day I plan my next day. It gives me a sense of purpose and direction. You know, once I wake up in the morning, I already know the first thing I'm going to do. I know the second thing on my list. I may not be doing it chronologically, but at least I know that these are the things that I'm doing for today. I don't get carried away. I don't spend all of my day on the couch watching the television when I have something important to do. So make sure you plan your day this coming year. Make sure you make it a point to always plan your day. Make it a point to always plan your day. It is it is such a beautiful thing to do. You are doing yourself a lot of favor by planning your day. Okay. So number 12 says, get a gratitude journal, and as much as possible, journal your gratitude every day. By doing this, you will find out that there is more to be grateful for. No matter how sad or pathetic your life may seem at the moment, there is always something to be grateful for. If you have air in your lungs, if you have strength in your bones, that is something to be grateful for. If your eyes can see, that is something to be grateful for. If you have a roof over your head, if you have someone you can talk to, someone you can have meaningful conversations with, or just anything, that is something to be grateful for. Like I would always say, it's not just about the big things. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be something so small, something other people would call irrelevant. Those are the things to be grateful for. Because in being grateful for the little things, you're opening door for the bigger things. Every day you journal your gratitude, you are sort of making this mental picture that God is always there for you. God is always there with you, and that He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. So these are things to be grateful for. Okay. So number 13 says your environment matters more than you think. You can't have $1 million dream surrounded by naysayers. Your environment matters a lot. That is true. It matters more than you think. So number 13 says your environment matters more than you think. You can't have $1 million dream surrounded by naysayers. You cannot have, and also be careful who you share your dreams and ideas with, because when you are surrounded by naysayers, they would always ask you, what makes you think that you can do this? What makes you, and it's not like they don't believe that you can do these things, but it's the fact that like their statement stems from their fear. The fact that they are not bold enough to take this step, so they try to project that fear on you. They would ask you, what makes you think you can do it? Because they are not able to do it, so they feel like everyone else is like them. So one, your environment matters. Two, be careful who you share your dreams and goals and ideas with, because your environment matters. The people you are surrounded with matters. They matter a lot. So check your environment. Who are the people you are rolling with? Who are the people you call your close friends? If you opened your mouth today and you tell them that you want to do this, you want to do that, what would they tell you? That would be a determinant on whether to distance yourself or to remain in that circle. If you find yourself in a place where once you open your mouth to share your ideas, they are supporting you, they are shooting ideas at you. Oh yeah, you can do it this way, you can do it that way. They are pointing you to, where you can get resources to help you to do these things. Then you know that these are your circle, these are the people you keep in your circle. But where you find yourself, where when you find yourself where you open your mouth to share your ideas and your dreams, and instead of getting the encouragement you expect to get, you are being met with, oh, what makes you think you can do it? What makes you think you are too special to be able to do this? You know, at this point, you should be making plans on moving away from these people or cutting them off, limiting the amount of time you spend with them. Because what you constantly hear, you repeatedly believe. What you repeatedly hear, you will believe. So if you keep hearing from naysayers, oh, what makes you think you can do this? What makes you think you are too special? What makes you think what? You start believing that you cannot do it. When you are surrounded with people that would support your dreams, when you're surrounded with people that would clap for you for dreaming, for daring to dream, to believe, these are the people you keep in your circle. These are the people you call your circle of friends. So do yourself a favor as the year is coming to an end. Evaluate yourself. Are you that person? It's not just about other people. Are you that person whom, if someone comes to you today to share their dreams with you, instead of giving them encouragement, you start, bringing them down with your words? You should also evaluate, as you're evaluating the people in your circle, also evaluate yourself. Are you the type of person whom would, are you a naysayer who will bring people down with negative words because you are too afraid to take a step, because you are too afraid to do something? So you bring people down, you tell them they can't do it just because you are not bold enough to do it. So as you're evaluating the people in your circle, evaluate yourself. Okay. Number 14 says develop some level of discipline. Start small and go from there. I think I've said this before. So, discipline is showing up for yourself when no one is watching. That is discipline. You have to develop a sense of discipline because you cannot go anywhere. If you do something today and you skip tomorrow, you skip the next day you do it again, that is not discipline. But when you keep showing up every single day, you keep doing the same thing every day, you are able to develop a sense of discipline. You are able to say, okay, I can do this. You are able to know the length that you can go, how much you can push yourself to be able to achieve your dreams and your goals, because without discipline nobody can do anything. All the successful people you see, they have a sense of discipline. They have a sense of discipline, they are disciplined. They are disciplined in showing up, they are disciplined in managing their finances, they are disciplined in managing their time, they are disciplined in managing their resources. So you have to be disciplined. You have to have that sense of that mind of discipline to keep showing up, to keep showing up for yourself, to keep doing the same things, to keep like pushing yourself towards your goal. That is discipline. Okay, so number 16 is don't take it personally, but God doesn't say yes all the time. Again, I said don't take it personally, but it's true. God does not say yes all the time. It's not that he's not saying yes, but he's not saying yes right now. And there is always a reason for that. There is a reason why God is not saying yes now. It doesn't mean that he will not say yes tomorrow. But right now, for this thing you're asking for now, he may not be saying yes. And there is a reason for that. And you have to have gotten to that place in your life where you understand that that him not saying yes now doesn't mean that he's denying you of something. Maybe he's trying to teach you something. Maybe he's trying to let you learn a lesson where you are in your life now, so that when he eventually says yes, you are able to manage that blessing that you've been expecting, that prayer point, that thing you've been asking for. When he eventually says yes, you are able to manage it better. Number the last one says take a lot of pictures. Oh, it's beautiful. Like you have got to take a lot of. Don't say I'm not a picture person. Take a lot of pictures. Create a lot of memories. You may not be doing it for yourself, or you may not be doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for your loved ones. You can look back and you say, oh, there was a point in my life where I had this. There was a point in my life where I was at this level, but now look at where I am. I've achieved so much level of growth and development and achievements. Pictures and memories, they remind you of where you used to be in your life versus where you are now. They remind you of a lot of things. They are memories of, the people you love, the things you are able to do, the things that you are able to achieve. So take a lot of pictures in this coming year. Make sure you take a lot of pictures. Thank you guys for staying with me. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Thank you so much for spending today with me. Today being my birthday. Thank you for spending it with me. I cannot wait to do this again with you guys. Once again, happy birthday to me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.